S&box is a game engine and platform that allows you to create the games you want in different visual styles and genres. While many other games on the platform are getting updates, and some people only play the most popular games on S&box, let's look at some games that are currently available that many of you probably haven't tried out or haven't heard about until now. Also, fair warning, as of this video, the developer preview is open to the public, and that means, yes, you can go and download it for free from this video provided, but it's in a very alpha state, and some games may still have some bugs in them. Starting off with Helicopter Chon, this is a helicopter game where each level you go through checkpoints and try to finish the level as fast as you can. There's even a leaderboard to show off your fastest times and more. But for the gameplay, it's fun, but also tricky. With the controls, you're constantly trying your best to navigate through the levels and also challenge yourself to finish it in the fastest time. Levels are pretty simple, but also built to be a challenge for you on which direction and way to go. Overall, the game is pretty fun and worth your while if you really enjoy these type of games. Tetris Fighter is another interesting game I came across. This is a Tetris game that has a different take on how you should move each piece into place, which is by punching it to turn it or move it from side to side, making this the fighter aspect of the game. I won't lie to you, this was incredibly hard at first, and the game was kicking my ass since I was trying my best to at least get one line break. But over time, as I started warming up to the controls, it was already too late for me. The game is pretty fun and, as I previously said, a different take on what you would expect a Tetris game to be like. You can play this game multiplayer, and I can only imagine how that might be between friends trying to get the most points. Next, we have Project M. This game I've covered and made a video on before, but I'm rather surprised that many people haven't taken out the time to check out this really interesting multiplayer shooter. Project M is a team-based defense shooter, taking aspects from base defense games and smashing them together with multiplayer objective-based first-person shooter games. This game caught my interest specifically from the base building aspect. Not only that, but the characters are monkeys, which makes sense as to why it's called Project M. So far, from the time I took to playtest this game and mess around with it, I had a good amount of fun in all aspects of this game. Of course, it's a work of progress, but from what's presented, the base building was pretty cool and made for some awesome gunfights between both teams, which felt very satisfying. Overall, the game is definitely worth your time if you enjoy this multiplayer FPS/base defense hybrid game. Gauntlet is a game I didn't think I'd expect to be in S&box. Why, you may ask? Well, because it's a game that's based on Titanfall's movement system mixed in with racing trials. I'm not sure if that's the correct description of this game, but again, it's a game that's made to show off how fast you can actually go around the map while wall running, double jumping, and sliding through the obstacle that's provided. I tried my best since it's a long time since I actually played Titanfall, and I have to say, I didn't do too bad. Still, could have done better, but regardless, pretty good. Gameplay-wise, it feels exactly how it would in Titanfall. At the same time, very satisfying to try over and over again, so you can see what your score was after you finished. Unfortunately, the only downside is that there's only one level. I definitely would love to see harder and challenging levels to try out and get a better score on. But with what's presented, it's a nice little fun experience. Tercape is a game that appeared up during the last Game Jam back in March of this year, and when I first saw this game, I was kinda blown away. I know that might seem like much for some, but just hear me out with this one. You're currently seeing a RuneScape clone on S&box. I don't know what else I can basically explain, but with what's provided, it's so refreshing to see more RPG games on S&box. As an RPG fan myself, we can never get enough RPG games. Idaho RP. This is a role-playing game set in Idaho, I would only assume. Now listen, I understand that this isn't the dark RP game that most people have been looking for, as there's probably 10 being developed right now as I'm making this video, but give it a chance. You get a roleplay in Idaho, have a nice cabin you get to share with other people, and just experience Idaho in all of its odd and unsettling glory. Not much else needs to be said about this game since, of course, it's Idaho and RP, so you should definitely check it out. With these games mentioned today, S&box is still a developing platform and game engine, and while most of these games have been around for a while, there's still so much more going on behind the scenes. Speaking about games, S&box games are another thing many of you want, and this video shown right here will tell you more about them. Thank you once more again for watching, and see you next time.